So Joe was off doing some matrix homework. We'd been doing a group exercise with a bunch of guys, and well, part of what they were doing is going off and choosing a valued life direction, and then doing some action to be consistent with it. So he chose the value of his wife, which was very nice, and he was going to go buy her flowers, so. Of course, as usual, he comes back later on, and one of us, or I asked him, so did you do your homework? And he said, yeah, I did. And I said, well, so what'd you notice? And he said, well, one is that I didn't know about buying flowers. So I went to a place and just really stared at him, didn't know what to do. And then this clerk came along and was really nice and helped me choose out flowers. This is Joe talking, and so he says, "Great, okay." So he gets the flowers, and one thing leads to another, and finally finds his wife, gets to his wife, and he has the flowers, and he's walking toward her, and it's like, wow, this is surreal. He says, because they've been together forever, and like he's forgotten birthdays and anniversaries and stuff, so. For Joe to be walking up to her with flowers was really something. So, she looks at him and she looks at the flowers, and her eyes get open big like that. And just about the time that her eyes open up big, of course, well, Joe, for once, really looks into her eyes because they were big. And he notices that she has blue eyes. And that was really something that he had noticed, that she had blue eyes, because, well, it turns out Joe and his wife had been married for 16 years, and Joe really hadn't noticed she had blue eyes up to that moment. And so after everybody got a good chuckle out of that, well, he said that things worked out well for he and his wife that evening. Whatever that means. So later on, when I'm all talking about all this stuff, Joe says, looking at it from this matrix point of view, what I've been doing is running around through life with my head down, with my eyes down in the lower part of the matrix, below the noticing part. And I just wasn't seeing stuff, wasn't seeing and especially in terms of my wife, he was saying I wasn't seeing what she was wearing and what color eyes she had, and if she was smiling or not smiling or what. I just wasn't noticing that stuff. And now even just a little bit of that noticing has really made all the difference in the world. So that's a little story about how a guy, maybe not that untypical a guy, takes something like the Matrix, learns how to lift his eyes up, and of course he didn't mean to do that part. He was out just buying her some flowers, which was nice enough in and of itself, but it taught him to look at her and really notice her, and according to him, made a big difference for him. So who knows, maybe any one of you watching this video might do that yourselves. And I know it's something I've certainly noticed in myself, that we get in our heads, and it's almost like our vision drops down to that lower part of the matrix. We're so wrapped up. I'm doing it now. I'm looking down, wrapped up in our own heads. And if we just lift it up to sort of that middle ground where we can see the five senses stuff and notice what somebody's wearing, especially our wives and, well, boyfriends, whoever, notice whomever, and notice stuff around us and keep tracking that stuff in our heads as well. And that can really help out. So there's a matrix story for you. Thanks so much for watching, and hope to see you on a webinar soon. If you want to catch a webinar, I do usually a couple a week, and it's just drkevinpolk.com, www.drkevinpolk.com, drkevinpolk.com, all together. and then / events, or look up at the top of the page and you'll see events, and you'll see my webinar schedule, and you can join me for a webinar and we'll learn about the matrix and life and stuff. So that's it for now. Bye-bye.